Yeah, I did.
Izzy, 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 Izzy. Izzy, 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 Izzy.
Growing up, thrifting was the best and pretty much only way I was able to shop and know that I can pick up more than 2 items at a time. As an anxious girly pop, if you tell me there's a way that I can avoid a problem by doing something to prevent that problem before it even happens, on top of it, I ended up really turning to thrifting as a way to feel connected and also representing myself in the best way I wanted to be seen. Through thrifting, I felt like I was really representing myself in my clothing in the way I wanted to be seen. Very adventurous, very fun, and still eye-catching. I really always liked that, especially as somebody who didn't really feel connected in groups. Still being able to be a part of the group in some way felt really cool. I was like, okay, cool. Fashion is that girl though. We can take experiments, we can make clothing. I was out here, DIY era on YouTube, and I was killing it. Thrifting has always been my safe haven, and so in 2020, when there was nothing else to do, and somehow thrift stores were still open, I went to them and I would go shopping and post little cool things that I saw on my story on the gram. And I couldn't fit everything, but even the things that couldn't fit, I just was like, oh my God, someone needs to get this. And people just started asking for it. And I was like, wait, I should make this a thing. Like, I need some money. I'm broke. My job went bankrupt. I was really broke. And so I started Izzy Looks and really doing the thrifting personal shopping. Fast forward a year later, a thrifting cutie community had been formed. And unfortunately, a lot of the thrift stores, locally owned thrift stores, got hit. I had some friends who just started their thrift store right before the pandemic started, and they were really down out. And I was like, wait, there's no way all these cute clothes are not going to be going to a good home, especially considering they're locally owned. So I'm like, oh my God, these people are like literally just holding the thrift store on their back to be able to go and afford these things. And I'm over here lolly-dolly. I can't afford to buy everything in the store, but how about I bring a group of people and we all check out and we also connect and like have conversations about our communal love of thrifting and just shopping in general. Rolling in Thrift Crawl, Chicago's thrifting shopping tour, hosted by Izzy's Looks. It is an annual event that happens every October, usually the third Sunday of October, and it's an annual, meaning it's only happening once a year to celebrate the continuation of Izzy's Looks. October 2024 marks the third year of Thrift Crawl, but the fourth year of Izzy's Looks. So let's talk about Thrift Crawl 2024. Go back in time to October 2023. So I had my first thrift crawl, the pop-up. Thrift crawl up until that point had always sold out within like a day or two. And I felt like, oh my God, people really enjoy it. And let me do a pop-up version and just see who would like to come to the pop-up, mainly for people who weren't able to get a ticket or people who couldn't afford to buy a ticket to the actual crawl but still wanted to go. I had an amazing thrift crawl pop-up. I wanted to do it again. I wanted to make that an annual event as well. But then fast forward to September 2023, I got an email from two vendors that I was going to have for Thrift Crawl, the pop-up, telling me that they were having their own market and it was going to be a size large and up market, and they were really going to have their hands tied. And so I was like, crap, okay, so I can't count on them to do the market for it. Maybe if I push it, because originally I was doing October 20th, and I was like, oh, maybe I push it up to October 13th. I called back to the venue and they said they can't do it October 13th, they can only do it October 20th. This means we have to cancel Thrift Crawl, the pop-up. But does it mean I have to cancel Thrift Crawl? Evidently no, because I decided to just fund the whole thing myself. These previous years, in the last 2 years, we had a amazing sponsor, Veggie Miha, not sponsoring this video, but shout out to them. It's amazing vegan collective that showcases cultural meals but making it vegan, and it's just really, really cool. And they also have this amazing program. They fill up a fridge and just many other things. I'll link them down below. Check them out. But I did not reach out to them this year to become our sponsor because I just felt like I didn't even know if I was going to do it, and then also felt overwhelming to reach out, and it just yada yada yada. I didn't do it in time where it felt respectable to even fucking ask. I funded this whole thing myself for this year, and that did put me a little stressed because we were moving. We did move. We are moving. We're moved. So I was like, okay, I'm still gonna do it. However, we definitely have to sell out this year, because not only am I getting a better bus, I'm getting a larger bus, I'm getting a black luxury bus company connected to taking us around on this thrift crawl the first time, and I was really excited about that. Shout out to my man Gary, shout out to GT Express LLC. I don't know if I said that right, but it's on the screen. So also be linked down below. There on Facebook. Is an older company, but check them out on Facebook. So I reached out to them, and it was pretty amazing. Like, easy peasy connectivity, but it is more than I've ever paid for a bus, which makes sense because it's a bigger bus. We were able to fit 23 people in there. I said, okay, it sells out every year, man. You know, we're gonna get 20 people in this one. Babes, they said no. I usually cap the tickets at 15, and this year we really capped at 15. I'm ahead of myself because I did end up vending at that plus size market, but I ended up vending my bag collection and my vintage bags. If you don't know, Izzy's Looks is transitioning a little bit from doing less markets and more into showcasing my handmade bags. You're always going to catch me in a thrift store, and I'm still available for personal thrift shopping. But as time is going and I get older, I can't do markets the same way I was in 2020. And so with that, I was wanting to expand more on my love of thrifting and secondhand fashion and secondhand pieces, handmade pieces, pieces made by me. And so I've been getting into bag making over the last couple years, and I want to do more markets showcasing it. Every now and then I do want to implement different clothing, vintage clothing on the racks as well. But the highlight being these amazing bags and future bags that I can make. So we are at Hot and Heavy, Maddie and Atlanta's market. This was a beautiful way going into thrift crawl. I was still frantically sewing the tote bags for each cutie to come on the thrift crawl. I was going to give them a tote bag. I handmade those for them because I wanted to do something a little different than previous gift bags. But we also added in a tattoo, a thrift crawl tattoo, which was so fun. The market itself was really, really cute. We had a lot of people come in just excited, because anytime you have markets for a size large and up and it's sustainable, it's just like a beautiful time. So we start the crawl. Introduce myself to everybody. We're going to give them a van. We started our, everybody gets their bags if they want. And we go into our second spot because Hot and Heavy was actually the first spot on the thrift crawl. I figured, why not? It's always nice to meet up, get a little shopping in, and then, getting the vibe started, just get the energy going. Be like, I'll come back here when we're at the end if I really want that piece, blah, blah, blah. And then you go on to the next spot and you really say, hold on, the energy's changed. Time to lock in. That's how I felt like we did at Poor Boy Rich Taste Store. This is in Uptown here in Chicago. Highly recommend checking them out. They have a lot of whimsical, very wicked clothing, as I imagine that energy being like very 80s, very showgirl, and all at the same time having some of those subdued pieces within the racks. And then he also had this beautiful hat that I'm going to be wearing for Halloween. This weekend, actually, I'm going to be a clown. Next week, I'm going to be Pinhead. But this is the little hat that I got from him. I'm so excited about this because I saw one and it was black and white, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be the one I'm gonna use. I probably can color it or something like that to get the color I wanted to really match the outfit and how I wanted to show up. And then I looked over to my left and I said, hold on, babes, what is that? And he said you can switch it out, no additional cost. So of course I had to snatch this up. It is so cute. It fits on top of my head so beautifully, and I'm thinking to cut off my hair before the weekend comes and get a razor to that bad boy. And yeah, we're going to be extra cute with this little bald head in the hat. So if you're going to be going there, up the street, maybe 2.25 blocks, there is Elevated, great coffee shop. I really enjoy what they got going on there, and so I recommended all the cutest go and get some. We got a little coffee, and we're on to the third spot. This is going, shopping, another store. Loop Vintage. Shout out to Loop Vintage. I think it was 2022 when I came across Loop Vintage, and it was at markets, and they were just selling their clothes, and they came out of this big old white van. They would always come in, pull it up, open that bad boy up, and bring out their racks, and they have so many amazing pieces I'm like warehouse level amazing pieces, and it'll be real true vintage. I just really love their pieces, and it has such a modern twist to it and things that I would want to wear even now. It seems like the hottie girl piece of every decade is on their racks. I just really love them, so of course I had to have them on the tour when they opened up their new store. One person had like this beautiful 90s asymmetrical hem long dress, and it just was. I heard this midi skirt from Loop Vintage as well. Very stretchy, nice little bounce to it. It's half of my other costume for Pinhead. I really want to do like a cunty Pinhead situation. I want to do a long maxi skirt, clearly, and I want to do a corset at the top. So I'm going to have to go and figure out where I'm going to get a black corset. I would like it to be secondhand, but could not find one on the thrift crawl. However, we went over into lunch after this. We went to Doghouse. I didn't get any videos of it because we were just eating, babes. The food was good. The ums and ahs, I really appreciate it. Beer Garden here in Chicago, up in some. I'll put the name up here on the screen. Definitely go and check them out. Good food all around, vegan options, 10 out of 10. At this point, also, Gary, shout out to Gary, our driver, bought us 2 bottles of tequila, and we had already done our pours and pass in our second rounds by lunchtime, so we were feeling great and good, and we're heading on to our final and last spot, Gym Collective. Gym Collective is actually really new to me. I've known about it probably in the last couple of months, and it's basically literally as it sounds. It's a collective of gyms. It is over 34 or so vendors in one store, curated by Kelsey and Cara, and shout out to them for allowing us to come through and shop those racks and just have a really great time. At this point, the energy was still going, and people were still finding some really cool pieces. I would say like a quarter of the group, this is where they grabbed their full lot. Like, it was pretty wild to see. And our girl even grabbed, I think she grabbed like 3 different sweaters. She adding to her sweater collection at the max. And it was the end of the ride, end of the tour. This year, I kept hyping it up and like, this is one of the best one yet. And sometimes when you say that and you get there and you're like, wait. Maybe not. This truly was the best one yet, and as I always say, I wanted to get better, and I want to get better and better and better and better, and I'm always hoping to exceed my expectations. Shout out to me, as Snoop Dogg would say, shout out to me, but also shout out to every person who was a part of this. What? Every person that was a part of the thrift crawl, and every person who came on the thrift crawl and just really trusted in my curation ideas and seeing all the amazing thrift stores that I like to go to. Definitely still check out those thrift stores at the bottom there in the description, because yeah, babes, you can go on your own thrift crawl. Yes, we'll be back October 2025. It's decided at this point. I'm gonna be back, and as I always say, it's going to be better than the last year. And even if it's great, it's going to be amazing. So definitely come through for October 2025. But in the meantime, take yourself on a thrift crawl. Check out the places that I did below. And also slide to my Instagram and check out the previous thrift crawl list. And check them out too. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, Izzy's Looks, for another year. This is going to be, I think we're only a couple months on YouTube, but we are running on this 4-year journey, and I can't wait till our Izzy's Looks YouTube is on its 4-year journey as well. As always, don't forget, you can do anything, because you're a cutie. Yeah, thank you.
I'm not even thinking, I'm just getting them all. Don't think.
I don't know, it's turning red, so it's